Hello and welcome. This is episode 7 of my to-do list, and unfortunately it is raining outside. It was beautiful yesterday. I bought the tools, equipment that I need, but I can't really do anything in these conditions. Regardless, I have committed to one video a week, so while I'm not going to get my hands dirty in today's episode, there is a few things I'd like to show you, a few things I'd like to talk about. And also, this is a great opportunity for you to leave some feedback in the comments, your thoughts on what I should be doing, what I've been doing wrong, things I can improve. I really appreciate that. Before I get to what's on the table, and then eventually I'll go out in the rain and just show a few of the things that I've done during the past week, I have realized that I have never actually introduced myself. It's all been about the car, and that's fine. That's how it should be and how I want it to be. But right now is a good moment in time to say hi. I am Yannick, I am 28 years old, I live in New Zealand, I am originally from Germany, and my background isn't car related at all. In fact, out of the 11 years that I have my driver's license now, I probably only have owned a car myself for 2 years. I've been into Mercedes now for probably a year and a bit, which is when I bought my first Mercedes, which was a 1988, also W124, a 230e, and now I've only owned this for about 3 months now. So what started out as I'd like to drive a Mercedes around New Zealand very quickly turned into almost an obsession, and here I am now shooting a video every week and producing all sorts of content, spending a lot of my spare time on thinking and working on this car. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. So let's get to what I had prepared for today. One of my high priority things is rust, and I don't have that much rust, but I do have rust around the toe ball and the tow bar area, and I think that is a great point to start to deal with the rust situation, because it's easy accessible for me and it gives me a good large surface to practice on. So I bought a few different sizes of metal brushes. These will simply attach to my drill. The rust is pretty much just surface rust. I don't think it goes too deep. If it goes deeper, I will need to either use some kind of rust converter, or I will need to use a tool that actually gets a bit deeper into the bare metal. But I'm thinking that these should be enough for the first step. In the second step, I have got some sandpaper. This is wet and dry sandpaper, 400 grit. Pretty fine. You can go a lot finer, but I think for that area, this should do. Safety glasses, I was going to get a smaller version, but I was with my girlfriend while we were getting these, and she said I have to get those because she won't deal with my complaining if anything gets stuck in my eye. Scotch tape, just to be safe, that I'm not getting any paint on where I don't want the paint to be. Turpentine, we'll need that in any case. And then probably the most important stuff I got is the brush and the paint. I went for the more expensive brush because I thought this is a worthwhile investment, having a good brush that I can use many times in the future. And then I've got the black paint, which is self-priming, and it supposedly needs around 3 coats. So there's 2 options really. There's either spraying or there is using a paintbrush. And in this case, I'm going for the paintbrush. There is lots of pros and cons. I asked ChatGPT and it gave me a good list of pros and cons for both. I did end up speaking to the guy in the hardware store, and he was super helpful. He seemed like he's done it many times, and ultimately in this case, for that part of the car, it made sense for me to use the brush, simply because I think I'm a bit more in control there. I don't want to get any of the black paint onto my white car. If I was doing the white part of the car, I think for the main surface I would probably use spray to get a more even coat and not run the risk of that you can see any kind of paintbrushes. But for something that is under the car, I think the paintbrush will probably be the better choice. So that would have been today, which probably now is going to be 2 weeks time until I get to that. Another thing I'd like to show you is that I have one window regulator. The guy I bought this car from gave this to me, and honestly, I don't even know if this is a working one or if it's broken. I would somewhat assume that this one probably works. It's definitely secondhand. You can tell just from the dirt, and I think it has, like it's 89, 4489. I think that's probably date related, the number on here. So yeah, this is some original old part, but if it works, then that would be fantastic, because both of my rear windows aren't working at the moment. and I'm not quite sure where the issue lies. I know that the left rear window I can hear engage and I click the button. The right rear window I can't hear anything at all. So maybe that has a loose connection somewhere. So potentially even I might only need one, because maybe the actual motor for the rear right works and I just need to establish a connection again, and then the left rear is broken. So I'm quite confident that I can get to the point of having it all open. Fixing it is a whole another level, but we'll get there. Another thing I have, and I'm pretty sure he told me that this one works. This is the boot locking mechanism. And I've mentioned in a previous video that my boot lock is, you can hear it's a little crunchy. Like it's doing the job, but it doesn't sound particularly healthy. That's another thing that I'd really like to do, is take off the back panel of the boot lid and then see if we can replace this, or simply have this to look at what's the difference, where could the crunchiness come from. So yeah, those are two things that I've already kind of got lined up, which will be done. And then next week I will get the ceramic coating. This has been in my pipeline for a few weeks now. It's finally happening. The interesting or the exciting part about this is that I will film the process, and I have spoken to the owner of the detailing company, and he was fairly keen on some video for himself, and I would have really liked to produce something for him to maybe reduce the price a little, and we can help each other out. But his team is supposedly not that interested in video content, so it's really going to be about, can I convince him with my video work to reduce the price, or to pay me effectively, so that I don't have to pay the full price. I'm going to do it regardless, because I think it is an important thing to protect my paint in the long run. And there's just a lot of little bits and pieces that will need some buffing, need some paint correction. So I'm quite confident that this is a good decision, even though it's an expensive one, and hopefully I can reduce that price a little. So I've shared my content in some Facebook groups, specifically New Zealand, Mercedes-Benz, classic car Facebook groups, and I'm super excited because I have found one person living in my city who owns a very similar model, and I have reached out to him. We have started chatting a bit, and he's very keen to meet up. He's most likely owned his car a lot longer than I have owned mine, and he's a mechanic, so he will know a lot of stuff, and I'm really excited to, well, make some friends, but also hopefully he can help me out with one of my main issues, which is the starting issue. I already told him what I'm kind of experiencing, and he seemed to have an idea. So yeah, we'll see about that in one of the future episodes. I'm sure I'll have plenty more questions to ask him. Okay, so that's it from inside here. I'm now gonna go outside because there's something I desperately want to show you, and you're gonna have to let me know if this is a waste of money, if you like it, if you don't like it. It's been a purchase that wasn't cheap, but something that I always had in the back of my mind. So yeah, let's go and check it out. Now let's go. Okay, let's get this as cinematic as possible. Here we go. Are you ready? Oh. So here we go. These are long charcoal sheepskins, and they are soft, and they blend in very nicely with the rest of the gray. And you can also see my carpets that are now a bit wet. I thought about getting sheepskins in a similar color as the carpet, but then I think it would have been too much. Yeah, I love how this looks. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I like it, and that's most important. Okay, so let's go into the back because there's more. I created some more carpet. This doesn't have the band around it yet, but I made it go completely over and around. So let's put this aside so you can see, yeah, my work of cutting this out. I think it will look a lot better once I've got the brown leather band around it, the vinyl. It comes together quite nicely. Well, one thing I really don't like is that one of these came with a gray and one of these came with this beige. So I'm thinking about replacing that because this Yeah, I don't like that at all. I'm actually quite pissed. I'm gonna call them actually. Luckily they're local and they were really nice about it, and I did want to try it all out and see if it fits, and so I'm happy that I went local. I'm happy that I supported my city here, but yeah, that needs to be changed in the future. Let's just, it's a bit wet, but let's do it. Let's show you, try and show, yeah, look at that. Oh God, it really bothers me that that is beige, but that's okay. It works well with the carpet. And then lastly, let's get to the boot. This is also another temporary solution because I had carpet left. Here's some more carpet. So if we can kind of get it all in, I really don't want to do this in the rain. You can't see all of it at the same point in time. But yeah, this is the current situation. I really enjoy it. And one more thing I've done is I've bought a tow ball protector, simply because I couldn't take any more pictures with the rust showing everywhere. All right, let's get this. Oh, that wasn't too crunchy this time. All right, let's get this all shut. Right, so I'll end this episode outside here in the rain. There's a few more things that I've really wanted to talk about, but I've been recording for 45 minutes. I've been waffling on about all sorts of stuff. So let's call it. I once again thank you for watching and see you next time.